Hey guys, just got back from the store, picked up some more feed, and filled these bottom feeders again. So we ought to have hopefully the doves and the chipping sparrows down below, and of course all the usual brown feeders. Also, I am going to try to transfer this to. I bought a more colorful feeder, and I'm going to try to put this liquid. It'll probably be all over me. I'll be a sticky mess in the other feeder. Put it up. It's got a little more red on it. Hopefully it'll fit. I'll try to make it fit in the space there, but hopefully that'll do better attracting the hummingbirds. I think once they know where it is, I could put this back, but they need to find it first. And this one's red, has white flowers on it, I think. So hopefully it'll stand out and we can attract some hummers. Anyway, let me get to work here. Thanks everybody, and God bless. Alright, here's what I got. A hummingbird feeder with a little more red in it, so hopefully it's a little more attractive. This one actually has a little cavity up here that you can pour water in. It's an ant moat. So if the ants come down here, they got to cross the water to get to your feeder down here. Gimmick or not, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, saw two little brown-headed nuthatches on the feeder here just now. They flew when I came. Usually those little guys they'll fly up when I'm standing here talking. So anyway, let me let the birds get back to it. Got the new hummingbird feeder in place, and away we go. Thanks all the chatters. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the moderators. This is a community. Feel free to ask any questions. Put some new things out on, since a lot of the kids are staying at home now. I just saw the brown-headed nuthatch go to the hole in my chimney. Since a lot of the kids are staying at home now, there might be an activity for them to, they time it, 15-minute game with that sheet, see who can spot the most birds within that time period. Good for seniors. Or just good for kids so they don't have to play it like a game. They can still do it, use it and see how many times they saw them. But it is probably good to put a time period on it. I know kids' attention is kind of limited sometimes, but could make it competitive for a little older kids, I guess. But anyway, let me let you guys go. Beautiful day, a little partly cloudy, but got everything filled up and we're ready to go. Have a good day. God bless. Hey guys. Not a whole lot to say today. I guess since I guess I kind of spoke this morning when I refilled the feeders after I got back to the store with food. Looks like everything's in order. I don't think we saw a hummingbird today. Filled up got the two suettes on there. I think we're all ready to dance with the birds tomorrow. Deer tonight, I guess. Didn't see the raccoon last night, I don't recall. I think the deer came, the herd came, and then the 3-point, I think the 8-point came as well. Didn't see the 6-point. Let me check the water here. That fell. Let me put some water in the ground, water basin there. But thanks all the moderators. Thanks Sandy and Ace and ODL and KM dropped by. I think I saw TD and saw Bird Brain in the chat today. And every time I start trying to mention people, I know I'm forgetting somebody. So please apologize. I'm a senior, so I get a pass. Anyway, just want everybody to take care and take care of yourselves. And with this thing going on, my wife and I, we're not quarantined here in Birmingham or anything like that, but we are trying to limit our exposure outside. My son's here in town. He's got a couple of people staying with him. They migrated from New Orleans, which they thought would be really a hot spot. Really New Orleans is a very clean town, according to them. I'm not. If you're from New Orleans, I'm not making any judgments here. But anyway, so hoping they're doing all right. My daughter's in Atlanta, and curiously, Georgia. Governors hadn't closed down some of the bars, and everybody's still going out over there, and they're testing like in Atlanta. From what I hear, my daughter's a healthcare professional over there. They only had like 50 test kits. So in my mind, Georgia may be under-reporting the number of cases, and with open bars and that, they're just letting and open other entertainment venues, letting the young folks go spread it around, and it wouldn't be a surprise if all of a sudden Georgia spikes way up in the number of cases reported. I know here in Alabama we had, I think my church, Church of the Highlands here in Birmingham, they tested like 500 people today. They had to shut it down because they kind of ran out of testing kits. And they had a couple of days ago about the same kind of thing. They were overwhelmed with the number of people, which kind of makes you wonder if all these people had symptoms. I think it's kind of a panic, because springtime, people who have allergies and they get sniffles and they're like, oh gosh, I got it, I need to be tested. But anyway, a lot of that stuff's on my mind, and it's good to have this stuff to take my mind off of it. I uploaded Feeder Talk episode 7 here recently, and it was really so long. It would have been 25 to 27 minutes. I must have really rambled on. But I had to break it into 2. So I'm uploading right now episode 8. I'll probably release that tomorrow. It's just more of me brain dumping, just things about the feeder, what we're seeing. We're not really seeing a lot of different birds coming through. I'd like to see some of the migrating birds coming back through here, get some different ones. But I have what I have as far as offerings. I don't have berries or bugs. My bugs are the dried mealworms. So and it takes a while for birds to kind of find it in their travels and their trips and that. So sometimes years. But and I'm still considering the landscaping and native plants and all that. It's just when I'm going out less, I'm not really wanting to go to the stores to pick up landscaping stuff. So I don't know if that's going to be put on hold for a while or not. I want to get some plants in the ground this spring, but really it was going to be a grand process of getting stones and having stones and dirt and mulch and everything delivered here, and me out here with a shovel. I had grand plans, but this limiting your trips out and about and that, and And me at my age, if I get it, I had a heart surgery back when I was 46, blood thinner, it would not be a good thing. So for anybody my age or whatever. But so that maybe put on hold. Maybe I can get out and get some flowers or something during the hours where it's, during the week when it's not very crowded. And in the morning time, I feel a bug on my head. I looked at my last video I put out, and there was a mosquito just right, not dead center on my head, just sucking any blood out of my head that I had to form a synapse, I guess, which you need a bunch of those to form a thought. And anyway, I'm just rambling on. Didn't have much to talk about tonight, and so just chatting with y'all. I did play guitar out on the deck today. Try to serenade the birds, but really their songs are so much more delightful and beautiful than mine. And the gnats were after me, so they chased me off the deck. So we now know it's springtime. The bugs are out, and that's good for the birds. That they now have some sources of protein that they can chase down, which might translate to actually fewer birds on the feeder. And the wintertime, when food is scarce, they're going to be here. This is really their only source. But when food supply and demand, when food starts going up, the supply of food, then they don't have to come here, and they can get more desirable. And I think when I talked about this morning or this afternoon, after I got back from the store getting food, is that during breeding season, I read in a native plant book that I'm reading, is that 90% of the birds eat during breeding season, this is songbirds, is protein, and that's bugs. And when they have the chicks and that, they feed them, 96% of what they feed them is protein or bugs. So it's good that the bugs are coming out. My yard is kind of a natural yard right now. My wife doesn't really like the look of it. It is kept natural. A lot of layers of leaves, and got some of the seed from where I've kind of buried the seed from some of these underneath the leaves, and that have kind of grown up, which does create an environment for the birds to peck around, like the towhees and the robins and cardinals and that, who are ground type feeding birds, the dark-eyed juncos. But it's not all grass and that. The book I'm reading says that the lawns are like a desert to birds. I mean, it just really holds nothing for them. I know it may have some crickets and some moths and that, and a bird will drop in and grab one and fly off, but nothing like some of the environment back here where they can forage through leaves, and there's guaranteed bugs underneath the leaves and that. But now, I'd like to get some cover back here to make it to where they feel safe around the feeder, where they got a quick escape if a predator is around. Somebody asked if there's magnolias in the yard. There are actually 3 magnolias, probably 30 feet away, and on the other side of my neighbor's fence right there. They're kind of young magnolias that have been growing a couple of years, but yes, we got magnolias there. We got a couple of trees here within 15, 20 feet. Another tree about 30 feet back that way. You see these back here behind me, and it's I don't think it's really enough cover, but it is what it is. I try to have those trees out of reach of squirrels, and the kind of limbs are kind of flimsy, so the squirrels can't get purchased or can't get a good spring to get to the feeder. And so I've tried to keep the squirrels away, and so far I've had this up for about 2 years now. We hadn't had squirrel problems. What I'm thinking though is if they really get wise to it, they'll climb up the camera pole here and jump from there. So I'm thinking about putting a squirrel baffle there. But the fact that I'm feeding them down below, there's no need for them to climb the feeder. So the lesson there is, if you got a squirrel problem and you got a feeder and they're getting to your feeder, try to make offerings at your feeder that aren't as desirable for the squirrels, and feed the squirrels at another part of your yard or something where they're drawn over that way, away from your feeders, and they're satisfied with what they have over there as opposed to bothering your feeders, because squirrels are kind of a universal problem with bird feeding stations and bird feeders. So but a lot of people don't have choice. They might have a bird feeder by a fence and they jump from the fence into the feeder. So it just as a matter of routine. But anyway, that's really about all I have this evening. I appreciate everybody, the chatters. I appreciate the questions. I really appreciate the subscribers, really even more so the moderators who spend an inordinate amount of time here on the station and very generously contributing their time. And there's not enough I can say to thank you for that. So it really makes it more of a community. When you have somebody welcoming you, you come into the chat and you ask a question, and you got somebody there to answer it. And we are trying to make it educational. That does make it kind of hard on the moderator. So, to try to tag birds as they come in, because birds, at some points in time, you just can't tag fast enough. That's why I kind of went to abbreviations a little bit, and then ended up hitting the command button to put the description of the bird. But you don't want to overdo that either. But anyway, it's a lot of work for the moderators, and that's why when some people ask if they can be a moderator, but I haven't seen them in there tagging a lot of, identifying birds and helping out. That's in fact, really none of the people who are moderators are people that ask to be moderators. I just noticed that they liked the site enough to where they were helping out, and they liked, genuinely liked helping and being there, and were good people and knowledgeable people. You kind of learn when you are trying to tag the birds and do it right. So, but I just can't say enough thank you to you guys, and that's what makes it a community. That's what makes a channel successful. And God bless you all, and have a good evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you may be. Thank you.